Warm greetings from the high 10. It is Everyday Shenanigans on this early morning, Friday, February 28th, 2020. I was trying to wind down, for the night, but got a notification. I thought I'd bring you this story so I wouldn't even have to get up and contend with it in the morning because I'm sure, later on in the day rather, because some other clown would probably jump out of the bag, hat, car by the time I decide to upload a video. Lord have mercy, Jesus. It just doesn't stop. I guess somebody heard me that the case pertaining to 15-month-old Evelyn Mae Boswell out of Sullivan County. Someone heard me say it would be shenanigans before Friday. And it jumped off, not even a day or two later from the time I made that statement. And I think I made that statement originally, Sunday perhaps. So I'm going to give you the said information before I watch Netflix and try to get some sleep. The first set of news I'm going to bring you is a brief story from WCYB News 5. Maggie Boswell is not pregnant. Please log on to that site for verification. They did not state how they knew for sure she's not pregnant, but it just stated the count of how many people entered in and out of the jail. And at the time, there was originally, I guess, 4 women pregnant in the jail. I don't know. I just thought maybe they're going to say, oh, she took a pregnancy test, because I'm assuming they do administer pregnancy tests to all inmates entering jail and prison just to verify that they are not pregnant. But anyway, oh dear God, it doesn't stop. Anyway, we already knew that. Most of us assumed she was not because she lies. You always have to remember, if a person will lie about one thing, they'll lie about something else. So there's no way you could even actually think that she was pregnant. Of course, she could have been, but because she's a pathological liar, why would you even believe it? The next set of said information is by Knox News if you need verification for the storyline, and it reads, oh, Lord have mercy. Baby Evelyn Boswell's life started in a family racked by chaos. Evelyn Mae Boswell, the Sullivan County toddler missing now for months, was born into chaos to a teen mom whose childhood had been marred by domestic violence, family upheaval, and isolation. A Knox News investigation of court and public records shows. We about figured that. Evelyn, a 15-month-old girl with wispy, reddish blonde hair and big blue eyes, remains nowhere to be found. Despite almost 2 weeks of intense media coverage across the nation of her reported disappearance, authorities say she hasn't been seen since mid-December. Evelyn's mom, Maggie Boswell, is now behind bars after an arrest warrant stated she refused to tell the truth about her baby's whereabouts. She's been spinning yarns. Webs of yarns. The sheriff's office called them inaccuracies in television interviews too. Lies. Street word, lies. Evelyn's maternal grandmother, Angela Mae Boswell, is in the same Sullivan County jail. Woo, mercy. Picture that. Accused of fleeing town in a stolen car with the boyfriends after her ex-husband, Evelyn's grandfather, reported the toddler missing February 18th. And Evelyn's grandfather, Tommy Boswell Sr., isn't talking publicly, especially to journalists. You're all vultures, he told Knox News this week in an encounter at the Boswell family compound on Muddy Creek Road in the tiny town of Bluntville, where Evelyn once lived. Imagine that. Muddy Creek Road. Okay, I'm going to behave. The Sullivan County Sheriff's Office has been working around the clock with help from the Tennessee Bureau of Investigation and the FBI to figure out where Evelyn is and, more importantly, whether she's safe and alive. Sullivan County Jeff Cassidy and Captain Andy C. Holt said Evelyn's mother's story has changed multiple times. Cassidy's agency isn't saying much else, though. Search warrants have been obtained. Authorities have confirmed but remain sealed. Cassidy has said the agency remains hopeful the toddler is alive, but has squashed the idea of citizen searches. Knox News has been sifting through court and public records this week to glean a portrait of the Boswell clan into which Evelyn was born. A rocky start. Angela Boswell was just 16 when she gave birth to Tommy Boswell Sr.'s first son, Tommy Jr., in 1993. A background check shows Tommy racked up an assault charge in Sullivan County a few months after the boy's birth, but the specific details on the arrest are no longer available. A TBI report shows he was convicted of misdemeanor assault a year later in that case. The couple's records show eventually moved to Bulls Gap in Greene County. In March 2001, Angela Boswell gave birth to the couple's second child, Maggie Boswell, Evelyn's mother. Angela married Tommy Boswell Sr. a few months later. By 2009, the couple was back in Sullivan County, selling the kids in a manufactured home atop a hill on a family-owned plot of land on Muddy Creek Road. But there was little harmony inside those walls, court records show. In March of that year, Tommy Boswell Sr. told deputies his wife attacked him, stabbing his neck with an ink pen and struggling with their then 14-year-old son, Tommy Jr., as he tried to rescue his dad. Months later, records show an angry Tommy Boswell Sr. showed up at the West Valley Drive home of his wife's father, David Lynn Jones. Jones would later tell authorities Tommy Boswell Sr. accused his son of theft and had been drinking when he sped away in his Chevy Camaro. Less than 3 minutes later, Jones stated the power went off at his house, a warrant stated. Angela Boswell was with Jones and claimed her husband called her minutes later to say he crashed the Camaro and ran away. She initially told authorities she was driving, but under prodding by Jones, later insisted she lied to protect her husband, court records show. Tommy Boswell Sr. refused to return to the crash scene, but eventually paid a fine for leaving the scene of an accident. Less than 2 years after that incident, Tommy Boswell Sr. was angry again. Oh, am I shocked? Okay. This time because another man was inside his Muddy Creek Road home with his wife, according to an affidavit of complaint. Conflicts continue. Lord have mercy. You need popcorn, wine, whiskey to keep up with the storyline. Okay, I'm going to behave. It was a cold February morning in 2012 when Brandon Yates and Angela Boswell awakened to shouts from outside the Muddy Creek home in which they had been sleeping, court records stated. Angela Boswell was naked and she could hear her husband's truck and his voice outside. When Brandon Yates went to the door, the Boswell son, Tommy Jr., threatened him with some type of wooden club and told him to come outside, arrest warrant state. Yates did, heading down the steep driveway leading to the exit of the Boswell family compound. Well, he was a fool to do that because you should have stayed inside. Because see, by law, you can do what you need to do inside the house. Tennessee law. For those of you who don't live in Tennessee. Yeah, okay. Brandon said that he was about halfway down the driveway to Muddy Creek Road when he observed a gray-colored Chevrolet pickup truck with Tommy's paving on the side, heading straight for him. The warrant states, should have never went outside, brother. Brandon stated that he was in fear for his life and he began running toward a fence that was in the yard. It continued. Brandon stated that he was unable to outrun the truck and was struck by the vehicle and was flipped over the hood and landed on the driveway. He later told Sullivan County deputies Tommy Boswell Sr., his son, and a third unidentified man surrounded him, kicking and punching him before he broke free and ran to a neighbor's house for help. When detectives called Tommy Boswell Sr., he confessed. The three of us did work him over, but hung up, a warrant stated. The two Boswell men, Tommy Jr. was 19 by then, were arrested. 17 months later, a reunited Tommy Boswell Sr. and his wife celebrated the birth of another son, Elijah. Tommy Boswell Sr. and his son soon struck plea deals in the Yates assault, garnering probation. But it didn't take long for trouble to erupt once again in the Boswell home. Divorce and reconciliation. Oh my God. Dallas Dynasty, not Slandon. I can't stand it. Angela Boswell filed for divorce from her husband in September 2014, 2 months before Elijah's first birthday. 2 months. Okay. Maggie Boswell was 13. She wanted custody of both. She got the divorce over with a year later in an agreed settlement entered at a hearing. Tommy Boswell Sr. didn't attend. A year later, the couple were celebrating another birth, Charlotte Boswell. By the time Charlotte was 2 years old, the Boswells were again in turmoil, records show. It was early fall of 2018 as the Boswells were separated again. Now this is 18. The fall. Angela Boswell was shuffling the three children, a pregnant Megan plus Elijah and Charlotte, between the Muddy Creek compound, her father's home in Kingsport, and an apartment in Johnson City, records show. So she was going back and forth. Okay. Jesus, what in the hell? Excuse me, Lord. Whew. Her driver's license was suspended. The tags on her car were expired. Police repeatedly stopped her, often finding her children unrestrained, records show. She was repeatedly jailed. Tommy Boswell Sr. insisted she was endangering their children, including Megan, and asked the judge to award custody to him. Angela Boswell is currently in jail. Tommy Boswell Sr. wrote in a petition for a restraining order against her. She has stated that she is out for blood and she will get revenge on me when she is released from jail. I am in fear for myself and my children, Megan, Elijah, and Charlotte Boswell, he wrote. She is using illegal drugs in front of our children. She is exposing our children to criminals. Tommy Boswell Sr. won his request and moved the children back to Muddy Creek. Angela Boswell, now trying to sneak stimulant pills into jail, was behind bars when Megan's baby Evelyn was born, records show. 11 minutes in. Good. This is ridiculous. And a new life. Evelyn's father, Edgar Perry, joined the military before she was born. They said Edgar. I guess they meant Ethan, excuse me. But that's what they wrote in here. Misprint in this article. So far, he has remained largely silent about her disappearance. There isn't much known about the relationship between Perry and Megan Boswell, when it began and when it ended. Photographs of Evelyn suggest she and her mom were living at the Boswell family compound with Megan Boswell's two younger siblings at some point before she disappeared. So she was living at the compound, which is the father's house, before she disappeared. Lord have mercy. Remember I said that. Tommy Boswell Sr. operates with Tommy Jr., a paving company from the compound, which now includes 3 manufactured homes, a double bay garage, a work shed, and a stable of dump trucks, heavy equipment, and personal vehicles. Oh my God, I could scream. A Sullivan County Sheriff's Office captain says Elijah and Charlotte are living there now with Tommy Sr. Angela Boswell was continuing to rack up arrests in 2019 for shoplifting and driving offenses. Sometimes she told authorities she was living at Muddy Creek. Other times she listed her father's address or the Kingsport apartment. Well, we know why she'd do that. So she wouldn't be apprehended. Duh. Megan Boswell lamented in September 2019 in a Facebook post that her life was tough, but Evelyn made it bearable. I'm not the best mom in the world, but I try so hard for this little beauty, she wrote. I can't even explain the love I feel for her, and I know she loves me too. Lately, my life's been really sucky, but she'll come reach for me and say, Mom, Mom, and my heart melts, and I'm reminded of her unconditional love. You can say whatever you want about me being a young mom, but I promise you my life is so much better with this angel. She wrote, my life wasn't ruined when I had her. She gave me a purpose and a reason to wake up every day and to better myself. There's no love like the love from your child. 5 months later, Megan Boswell hasn't explained where her angel is. You said that right. Verification for this story is Knox News. And I promise I'm going to not make a video anytime soon. It'll be a little later. Woo, baby. 13 minutes. As you see this... Megan had problems growing up in a household with fighting parents. The father and his son and another man beating up this other gentleman that was in the company of the mother. Back and forth, the mother going to the husband. Back here, there, another apartment. Other children she's made with Mr. Tommy. And now he's calling the public vultures. Well, see, I'm going to call you out, Mr. Tommy Boswell. Yeah, you on Front Street now, homeboy. You're the same one that reported the little girl missing. But now they're saying Evelyn and the mother, Megan, stayed at your compound, your house, your business. Because you got all that going on this plot of land. So how in the hell this baby been missing and out of sight for months, and you're just now reporting her missing in the month of February, damn near the 3rd week of the month. You are claiming this child is missing, and this article states Megan stayed with you with your other kids. So at some point, You didn't notice the child wasn't with her? You didn't notice the baby not staying in the house? Did Megan go outside the house and get another apartment or a shed or a trailer, a barn? What? Did she shack up with Hunter Wood? Does Hunter Wood have his own place? Because now we got to go there. Where was Megan staying from November up until the day she got arrested? I'll wait. Because I've been asking that in the past few videos I've made. Where did Maggie Boswell live with her baby? Because if we are to believe now, she stayed with her father and his other children, her siblings. How in the hell you gonna wake up 2-3 months later and file a report about the child missing unless Megan went on a hiatus, left the house, stayed with somebody else, and you just thought she ran off and moved out, and you assumed the baby was with her. And then you never saw the baby. She didn't bring the baby back around. So then you thought, oh, something's not right. Let me go call the state. And let me say this to you all who are woke and lucid. When you went to the state, Mr. Boswell, and filed a welfare check, asked them to do a welfare check, just exactly where in the hell did the state go? To your house, the compound? I'll wait. You all better listen to what I'm saying to you. How in the hell you gonna send them folks to your house where she been staying, and you ain't been asking her about where the baby was, while she was living in your house, if indeed she was staying in your house up until last week, before she got arrested, before the state got involved, before the Amber Alert? This is foolishness. Foolishness. Now all of a sudden, you giving commentary that the news is vultures. Well, wait a minute, homeboy. As some elderly lady said to me once, long time ago, I didn't send for you. WATE didn't send for you. Channel 5 didn't send for you. Channel 11 didn't send for you. You made the call about your daughter and granddaughter. So we can now sit back and say, you've been privy to all this buffoonery, and now you want to act like you disturbed by all the shenanigans going on. I'm sure you discussed it, that your past has come to play. Your relationship with Angela, all y'all little dirty deeds and secrets are now on Front Street, because that's what happens when you have missing people. They start to investigate the people surrounding the missing person, the missing child. That's the game. You don't like the game, don't play. I can't even get a good rest. This is stupid to me. Buffoonery. But this is how they do. Didn't I tell y'all that? The same people that love to run to the police, make phone calls, call the state, call the FBI, get on Facebook. They cry when the pot gets too hot. Yeah, it's boiling over, ain't it? Well, you the one that made the phone call, Mr. Boswell. So what's your problem? You got a problem now all of a sudden? Yeah. Because you know people going to look at you, the authorities mainly, and they're going to wonder if Evelyn and that baby, Evelyn the baby and the mama been living with you. When did you realize something was amiss? And how long you been riding a ride knowing that baby was never coming back to that house, never came back to that house, didn't sleep in that house? Did your daughter go move somewhere else? Because now with this web here from Knox News, we are to believe that Megan left your house and went and stayed somewhere else and didn't keep contact with you and the family, nor the baby. And we know this heifer can't even pay a car note, keep a car, so we know she couldn't have paid rent nowhere. So that leaves Hunter Wood. Was she shacking up with Hunter Wood? Where does Hunter Wood live? Was he living with her somewhere in an apartment, a house, barn, trailer? I don't know. Stop me, because I'm drowning. I'm sick of this. I'm sick of this story already. I'm getting cupcake fever. with this mess right here. Yes, I am. I'm saying it. This is buffoonery. Asinine behavior from a bunch of stinking clowns. They need to go on and release the people's phone records. Quit playing. It's enough of this mess, okay? I'm getting ready to tap out here. The law needs to release everybody's phone records, conversations, text messages, all that, because this is stupefied and this thing got real ignorant. Come early Friday morning. 1 weekend of an Amber Alert. And now this man want to play crazy and talk crazy about the news, bothering him, harassing him. They're vultures, blah, blah, blah. Child, bye. Only a coward would take their son to go bang on the door because another man is in the house with their wife. You don't involve your children in grown folks' business. So see, you ain't all that clean yourself. And that's keeping it 100. And the father's power being turned off, Angela's father's power being turned off. Did you do that? You cut the power? But now you got a business and you all right. Yeah. Sins of the father and the mother and the new mother. Maggie Boswell didn't have a chance. Evelyn Boswell didn't have a chance. And we can only imagine what the other children are going through and what they have to look forward to with these type of people rearing them and not paying attention to them and their livelihood. Because this is what I have to say. If one of your children are living there with another small child and you play duck duck goose and not really care about what she's doing and woo woo woo, and then you want to wait till after the fact to file a report, what are you doing for the other children that live there? Are we going to be looking at another story a couple years down the road if we ain't in the nut house by then? I'm done with this. I'm done with this shenanigans. I'm going to tell you all like this. This will possibly be my last child story. I will wrap up all my other cases on this channel that I have talked about. When they go to trial, I will try my best to give you the said information of any updates of current stories I've covered. But I'd like an ending to this story, and I'm praying for an ending because I'm done with these children's stories, and I'm done with these stupid ass people that brought them here with their ignorant asses. I'm done with this BS. I'm tapped out. Prayers for Evelyn May Boswell. Like, share, subscribe. Drop your comments below. I'm done with this. This is stupid to me. You all have a wonderful morning. Good night. Good morning. I'm out.